Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Great. All right. I'll be in a minute.
It's only me today, David.
That's all right. That's all right.
Got
Charlie's in Africa.
Chantel is up at the school with her daughters. And I'm only here till the halfway mark because I've got a client. I'm like, oh shit, I feel Shanaz.
No problem. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. I'm already swearing. We all right.
Don't stress. All right. Can you see me all right?
You see, yeah. I think there's only me here so far.
Yeah, we got St. Calper there and all right. So you're up for reading the recording statement?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we'll do that in a second. We'll just wait for a couple more people to arrive. Yeah, we're nice and early.
There's no typos in it this time, is there, David?
Yeah, no, there's still a typo. There's still a typo.
Excellent.
That's all good. Morning, Sarah.
I know they're in the real world this happens, especially if I'm typing.
Why is this not coming up live? Good morning. How are you? Terrible Irish accent, man. Hey, you made it back.
Thank you. Oh, what's up? Oh, good.
Morning, St. Calper. Can you hear me all right?
Morning. Mariana.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Who's coaching Marley today?
The Lord Mayor of Dublin is in at 11, so you don't be doing this for long. Yeah.
He's in at 11. Marley comes on at 11. I don't know if he's coaching Marley today.
Someone will probably just say the room, but I think we want a few people in today.
Yeah.
Or we don't be fresh yet.
To be honest with you, last week, was that all three things?
I went very well.
Monday, I will work about 3 weeks.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was in a crack campaign. Where did you go? Where was your position? What are you doing?
Down the river, man. Kids, man.
Good morning.
Somebody sent in Read AI. Is everyone right if this is recorded?
Yep.
This This meeting is being recorded.
Right.
Not in today, no?
All right, so Claire, go for it. Read the statement.
Before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of UACT's LERO's mission to build recovery capital and challenge stigma. Your personal safety and comfort come first. If at any time if you would like your contribution of the recording to be deleted, please say so, and it will be removed without question. Please remember to take personal responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid, or faith-based organisation. If you are happy to proceed, please give a verbal yes, or use the chat to confirm your consent in the recording. Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So just for Sarah W, we haven't fixed her spelling mistake yet.
It's all right. I haven't got my teacher head on today.
Okay. Great. All right. Cool. So Sam, build the container. Start the check-in.
Hello. Okay. Yes. Hi everyone. I'm Sam. I'm checking in, feeling. How am I feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited, a little bit anxious actually. So obviously, yeah, I know that we're going to do our presentation in a bit. So yeah, feeling all sorts of emotions. And I will pass over to Danny.
Hi, it's Danny here. I'm checking in, feeling good, a little bit apprehensive about the presentation today. Haven't had much time to prepare because we had a big day yesterday. We ran a stall at the Recovery College. So I've been doing lots of Kennedy Street stuff this week, which I've enjoyed. And I will hand over to Sarah.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Danny. Sarah from Kennedy Street. Yeah, I'm feeling grateful today. It's been a week of lots of different important events coming on, some very important celebratory events and some that are very poignant and very sad. So it's been, yeah, grateful to be here and to be present for them. I will hand over to Moss.
Yeah, morning everyone. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. Feeling focused on what we're doing right now. I'm grateful to be here. And yeah, like everyone said, we've had a really busy week this week. I'm going to pass over to Daniel.
Daniel, yeah, feel all right? I don't know what else to say at the moment. Yeah, I feel good. Just waking up. Cheers. I'll pass over to Claire. Claire?
Me?
Yeah.
Oops, yeah, that's you.
Yeah. I'm checking okay a little bit. I'm off on my own. Got Charlie in South Africa. Debs is off to some art gallery thing, and Chantel's not either here. I can't even talk. There you go. That sums it up. I'm all right. I'm here. And I will tag Sankalpa.
Yeah, well, Craig. Craig Sankalpa checking in good today. Just looking forward to seeing what the class is about today. So all good. And I'll try on.
Yeah, good morning, Owen here, St. Calvert. Yeah, checking in really good today. Been flying around lately. Need to watch that a little bit, just so I'll have a bit of rest on the weekend. We're looking forward to today. And we'll tag Mick.
Yeah, same as on. They're just looking forward to getting on. I've been doing my placement in my new job, you know, and everyone keeps asking me is David a traveller because Collins is a very popular name in the travelling community. I have to tell him I'm 20 and he's not, so put up on your website then.
Identify yourself.
Identify yourself. And tag Michael.
Oh yeah, Michael here, St. Calpa. Checking in good this morning, full of beans. Full of beans. Not in the hot seat today anyway, so excited to hear what the other organisation has to say and give good feedback and ask a lot of questions. Hi Tommy.
Good morning, Tommy. Checking in. Checking in good form. Most of the time I want to throw a spanner into the works and I'd be sitting here every week and I say, all the other groups in England, they always tag each other and they never tag St. Calpe. We're like yin and yang. You go first, we go second. Just thought I'd throw that in. We're going to tag David for a change. Only at the end, when there was no one else there. Tag is a tag.
Johnny David.
Johnny David.
Oh, did you tag me?
Is David there?
Yeah.
Now you have to find the last couple of members of
All right. So David, check in. Yeah, I'm anxious. I always get anxious at the start of class, but I'm really looking forward to where we are today. And yeah, I'll take it back to St. Calpa. Who's next to you, Tommy? Is it Faye?
Faye.
Who's next to you?
Faye.
Yeah, Faye, you go.
Good morning. I'm good. I've a recovery run there Saturday, so I've just been running all week, training for it. But the head's in a great place, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to today and the rest of the month, to be honest. I will tag Anthony.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm checking in good. I'm a little bit giddy this morning. Okay, that's been a good week. Launched recovery month here on Monday was good. Now a bit of a high after that. Yeah, look, I'm in good form. It's late in the week, and usually I hear a bit of a wall about this time, but we're doing okay today. You know, wasn't here on time today, and you know what? I wasn't even going to blame the public transport today. That's how I'm just taking it as it comes. You know, looking forward to it, getting a bit of learning today. I'm trying to figure out why Michael said he's not in the hot seat today. He's to do a life story to the Dublin, the Lord Mayor of Dublin today. So, but yeah, I'm really good today. Yeah, look, thanks, Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen, yeah, I'm checking in good today. Tired this week. Had a family funeral this week, so I was kind of being all over the place, but I'm all right. Positive, yeah. I'm feeling positive and looking forward to whatever day brings. That's me.
Tag.
I will tag.
Whoever's left.
I can't see them reading you. 1 sec.
We all went.
You all went, didn't you?
Zoom user hasn't been.
No.
Zoom
user. Zoom user.
Hi, I'm feeling okay. Sorry, I don't even know how to put my name on there. So it's Olivia.
Can you do some sign language?
Olivia.
Yeah, I'm good today. Thank you. I'm just worried about my dog because she's trying to get in, so she probably will be let in and start licking me and stuff. But yeah, that's it. I'm good today.
Okay, welcome back,
Thank
Olivia.
you. Thank you.
All right, so I think that's everyone, yes. Olivia, what's the name of your organisation again?
Pear Road Project in Erith.
In where?
Erith.
Where's that? Wales?
No, sorry, that's the Irish accent and that is London accent coming. It's in Kent. ERITH. Pear Road Project.
All right, cool. And we've got We Do Recover here, we got St. Calpa here, and we got Kennedy Street Recovery, who are going to be presenting today. So like St. Calpa presented last week, Kennedy Street's going to talk to us about their organisation and their process, and then we'll give feedback afterwards. So go for it, Kennedy Street. Dun, dun, dun.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a Kennedy Street volunteer. This is how we onboard someone from the community into our service. They often come via word of mouth, walk-in, via a referral partner, or website or social media. We welcome them with a smile, invite them to sit down, offer them a cup of tea, show them kindness, and we appreciate that this could be their very first attempt at recovery, so we give them space to speak and we listen with respect and free of judgment. We encourage staff and volunteers to be open about their own personal recovery journey, as this removes immediately a barrier and destigmatizes addiction. This support is open to anyone who is interested in a recovery pathway, regardless of their addiction, be it process or substance or an affected other. Once the person has settled, we encourage them. Once the person has settled, we then talk to them about what we can offer them. We talk about our groups, our recovery support, and encourage them to keep coming back to our hub. What we've noticed when people first come in is they're often really overwhelmed and scared. And so we really like to offer them a gentle, warm, inviting space and try not to overwhelm them with too much information. Clients are told that our recovery support is team-based, not one-to-one, including volunteers and trainee ambassadors and the wider recovering community, utilising the external recovery capital that is available. Over to Daniel.
Yeah, and the first step is the referral sign-up form, which is completed either by the client online, self-referral, or in person via referral from another service. We explain that, in order to process our groups, in order to access our groups, we require them to sign up as a client first. Right from the get-go, we like to encourage autonomy and ask the client to fill in the form themselves. The volunteers are there to offer support, but they do not fill in the forms for them unless exceptional circumstances prevent the client from filling that out. What a referral form records is referral type, self or agency, title, first name, surname, pronoun, date of birth, mobile, other contact numbers, email, preferred method of contact, address where they're currently staying, or other address or no fixed abode. Do they have an alternative address? We've got equality monitoring, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, gender, same gender as birth, or prefer not to say to all of them. That's for emergency contact, name and relationship, contact with a statement by providing these details. You consent to us contacting your next of kin in the event of a blue light emergency. How do you hear about us? Overview of the primary concern. Further information if applicable. Confidentiality, explaining we will only contact third parties in the event that there is serious risk of harm to or threat of life to them or someone else, including neglect or abuse. Further info, we ask for their contact name, organisation, relationship to the client, the referrer's email and mobile, sent for the referrer to contact clients. Data protection statement, we put today's date. That means that they've read and agreed to the data protection statement. We will use and store any information that they give us in accordance with the General Data Protection Regulation 2018. Information you provide will be anonymised before being used in monitoring or evaluation reports for our funders and other interested parties. Your data will be held for a maximum of 2 years in accordance with the GDPR 2018. And for further details of our policies are available at the Kennedy Street Foundation. We will not share your information with third parties other than those that you have agreed on in a separate consent form, or if there is risk of serious harm or threat to life. This includes child protection concerns, suspicion of abuse or neglect of vulnerable adults, or to prevent or lessen a serious threat to you, your or another's safety. We believe consent is important to comply with data protection laws, to build trust with the client, and to protect the charity in case of data breaches, and so we can work collectively with other services to best serve clients' best interests. Once signed up in person, we start having a recovery conversation, setting a smart goal, encouraging them to stay for another cup of tea and a free cake, which we use end of day fresh produce from a connection tool supplied by Marks and Spencer's or Gale's Bakery via the Neighbourly scheme. And we encourage them to connect and talk with other clients, volunteers, and recovery visitors in the hub. And we offer low cost or free lunches. Sarah.
Thanks, Daniel. So once a referral is received, either in person or online, within about usually 48 hours, I contact them directly using their preferred methods of contact. So I send them a kind of quite an informal invite to arrange a one-to-one chat, come in, have a chat, and have their assessment in person at the hub with whichever recovery practitioner is working that day. Once they've arranged a time to come in for their assessment, I update Simplify, which is a CRM system that we use, which informs the assigned member of staff. And I also let them know through our kind of in-house service as well, Slack, which is what we use, to contact them as well. So the staff member knows that day and beforehand if there's potentially someone coming in for their assessment. So I send them this initial welcome, and on that same day, I also send them another message, which is a kind of information pack all about us. So it has where to find us, what our timetable is for the week, and if there's anything special going on. For example, it's our first birthday, so we're having like a celebration on Friday. So I'd invite them in for that as well. So it's the more informal community events as well. So if a week later there's been no contact made, and after I've sent them the initial message, I'll then just do a WhatsApp message or a text message just saying, come in for a chat. How are you? Come in and see us when you're ready. We are here to support you on your journey. When they do come in, for their pre-arranged assessment, they speak to the member of staff on duty. They know who they're going to meet, who they're going to talk to. They know that there'll be volunteers there as well. The staff member goes through the one-to-one assessment with them in a private room, and also goes through an outcomes form. So this is data collected every 3 months, which measures the client's progress and can be shared with the client at any point of the journey. And it's used in reports to anonymously share with current and potential funders as well. Storing the data securely essentially gives the staff team full access unless restrictions are applied. Recovery ambassadors, which is Danny and Daniel here, have limited access via the Salesforce Simplify app on their phone to the client's file they're working with. So it's got their name, their mobile number, email, and so at a section where they can log the recovery chats and conversations they've had to. If after about they've come in for about a week or so, and I'm the member of staff there on a Friday, if I haven't met them or I haven't seen them, or I will just do a quick WhatsApp message again saying, how's it going? You've had your assessment. Have you managed to come into any groups yet? Have you come into our recovery cafe? If we don't hear anything at all, after about 6 weeks, I just send quite a short email saying, you know where we are. If you want to reconnect or connect at any time with us, come and see us. We are always there with open arms and for a cuppa and a chat. So that's the basic processes of what we do. I will hand over to.
Yeah, hi. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the assessment form then. So as Sarah was saying, we use Simplify. We've all got our own logins. We use two-factor authentication to get onto our Salesforce CRM system, where the assessment forms are located. So and this is necessary for us to acquire more sensitive data, so it needs to be securely stored. It includes things like personal history, where they are right now in the journey. We measure their recovery readiness and assess where they are on their willingness to achieve abstinence. So the info collected is securely stored as per GDPR. The first section is the assessment of the situation. So we have a look at the primary addiction concern. So what's the addiction? How long? How much? Try and get a real understanding of what it is we're dealing with here. Any other addiction concerns? Any prior experience of recovery and the details? Any dependents or vulnerable adults living with them? Has there been any offending in the last 90 days or any convictions spent or unspent? Are there any mental health diagnoses or neurodiversity concerns that we should be aware of? Any prescribed medication? Are they involved with any other services or professionals, and what are the details? what are the consequences of their addiction, and any health or other concerns to be made aware of. The second section is the personal circumstances. So we ask about their employment situation, relationship status, any benefits, housing status. Are they living with anyone with an addiction? Third section is goals. What are your goals for the future? How are you going to achieve them? And what help do you need to achieve them? So that's really a section of, again, autonomy, putting the client in the driver's seat, really. Fourth section, commitments and consent. So do they give us consent to contact services involved with their care? And then we ask them some questions, is achieving long-term abstinence the most important goal? Are you committed to recovery 100%? Will you do whatever it takes to recover? Do you never want to return to addiction? So once the assessment form's been completed, we then go into an outcomes form. This is to measure their starting point. We will complete the same outcome form every 3 months to gauge the journey, just like Sarah said. So the outcomes is using a scale of strongly agree, disagree, and strongly disagree. And then we ask them how they would answer these 6 statements. I am able to avoid engaging in addictive behaviors. My financial situation is affected by my addiction. I'm at risk of becoming homeless. I am satisfied with my current emotional and mental well-being. I'm happy with my self-esteem and how I feel about myself. My addiction negatively affects my meaningful and healthy relationships. My friends and family support a lifestyle free from addictive behaviors. I am happy with how I spend my time each day. This will then result in an overall outcome score. Over to you, Moss.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. We appreciate that clients can find any part of this process intense and or traumatic. So we offer a trauma-informed environment, which is a place where people feel safe, accepted and understood. Above all else, the client's well-being comes first and none of this is immediately compulsory. We are very happy to work at the speed with the client and meet them where they are. If anyone is demonstrating high levels of trauma or stress, we work as a team and their most senior staff member will take the lead. If we do feel like we need to speak to another service professional involved in their care, we always check with the client and ask first. And where possible, we would have the client present. If there's a safeguarding concern, we always try to let the client know first that we will be liaising with other services regardless of the client's approval. Through the assessment process, we establish the client's ultimate recovery goal they want to achieve, whether it is abstinence or harm reduction. If it is harm reduction, we will signpost to CGL, the local commission drug and alcohol service in Brighton and Hove. They'll still be able to attend the hub, get involved with workshops and drop in as long as they engage with CGL and as long as they're not intoxicated or high. If they are, we would ask them politely to leave. We appreciate that some substances are deadly just to stop, like alcohol, benzos, GHB, and we support them on the journey towards treatment and detox. If English isn't the client's first language or they are from another background initially, we'd use a translation app or reach out to the connections in the community and ask around to see if anyone is able to, in recovery, that speaks that language. We'd also signpost to CGL and they have the funding in place to bring in translators and work collectively. Our staff bring with them various professional skills when they join us, and our recovery practitioners, volunteers are all in active recovery themselves and are offered in-house professional development. This has been developed over the years by experienced senior management and previous professionals who have worked for us, all who have lived experience of active recovery in the community. We are a lived experience recovery organisation. All our volunteers and 95% of our staff are in active recovery and engaged on a recovery pathway. Volunteers and recovery ambassadors are in recovery themselves, and as part of their volunteering process, it's important they continue their own recovery pathway. This is as well as our in-house professional development training, external training and certification. Regarding family recovery, currently we don't have any workshop in-house. However, this is something we are considering at the moment, but currently what we do is we train our staff and volunteers and what's available in the community. For example, Al-Anon, Nar-Anon, Pharm-Anon, ACA and CODA are to name a few. Claire is a trained family therapist, and this is one of Claire's hats currently wears. We're a Vision employing a staff member. That is our onboarding process. Thanks.
Wow.
Bring on the questions.
Okay, how very comprehensive. So I wanted to jump in with a lot of questions, but there was such a flow going. I didn't want to interrupt. Claire, you've got a question. Do you want to jump in?
Is that okay? Yeah. So I think you might have like a slightly more middle class area than us. I noticed you had a lot of posh systems and contact details and things like that. My question is, what do you do with people who are coming in raw? They may be homeless, they don't have a phone, they don't have any contact, coming from prison, that kind of thing. Do you have any advice, or what would you do in that situation?
Oh, so this, I've got it. Yeah, so we do get people like that all the time. Of course we do. So we work collectively with the external recovery capital and available in the city. We have connections with homeless organisations, probation services. You know, we have these connections. You know, I know, for example, you can go to First Base, which is a day drop in for people who are homeless. And they work with CGL. We work with their CGL too, and they can give you phone, showers, food. They can help you with your homelessness situation. You know that. You know, so we know the external capital. We know where people need to go, and obviously, you know, we'll, you know, yeah. I think
Do you still provide them with a phone?
No, that First Base.
So that's
First
my
Base provide
question.
homeless people with
How
phone.
do you onboard somebody? Because I'm looking at this myself. I'm not like I'm just curious, like how this might go on. How do you do that and take all these contacts and address with somebody that's homeless? Do you think, or has no contact?
The thing with us is, which is a little bit different.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm like
Yeah.
voicing it out to the room. What do people think? Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm just thinking in the situation.
Yeah, I know. Well, it can be tricky when people don't have contact details, things like that. But because we're a recovery cafe and we're right in the centre, for us personally, we just we ask that people come back and they do come back with us because they can come and get a cup of tea, have something to eat, and just have a really safe place just to sit and hang out and just, you know, get the bearings.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think, yeah, phones it's just a tricky one.
The email, the contact, the follow-up, can you, like, you know, we're available. That's great if everybody's got the contact, and my brain's just gone,
Just
what about them or haven't? You know?
Yeah.
Because you've got all that stuff, haven't you? That sounds like you've got that flow, and my brain's gone, that doesn't fit in that box.
I think when someone comes in and they're homeless, they need a lot of support, and more support than we could just give them ourselves. We are a signposted. We encourage people to come back in. We are a safe, supportive, abstinence-based program. But what we are able to do with our contacts is then help people. It doesn't matter if they haven't got an email or a phone. The most important thing is they come back. We can then support them in getting to the right people that will be able to help them. So I think it's important to remember what we do as a service and what we are able to signpost people towards. And they can come in and have free food, a cup of tea, you know, they can have a lunch every day. We are that safe, supportive
I get all that.
where they
I
can
get all that,
start,
but my
you know,
question is, how does
contacting
that
people,
apply
and we
to
can get to know them.
So let me jump in here, if that's okay. Yeah. So first of all, Claire, I really want to acknowledge you for asking the question. Yeah, and for pointing that out. And I'd like to acknowledge Kennedy Street for taking it on and navigating around this. So the question really highlights people that have very little resources, like an address or something, and the technology efficientness of Kennedy Street has really come in. Yeah. So the question is, how do we cater for people like that? Yeah, that meet that environment.
That wasn't my question.
Okay, so let me
My
just.
question was, I know how to signpost people and all that. My question was, when you've got this system and people have no details, how do you then administer them into this system? I don't mean sending them, they might get food there, or this is available, you can get clothing here in a warm bank here. That's what I mean. I mean, how, when you are keeping track of people that don't have it, how do you get this information, this confidential information, into your system? How is that? Does that work? That's me. Me question. Sorry.
I've got the answer for this, Claire. It's actually when the client comes on board into the hub, we have an iPad that we get out and we fill out the referral form with the client. They don't need to have any technology. They don't need to have anything. If they don't have an email, it doesn't bother us. If they don't have an address, we just put no fixed abode. You know what I mean? Like if they haven't got a mobile, we put no mobile. You know, they don't need any technology because we've got.
Just right, not available, not applicable.
Yeah.
Right, okay, mate. That was my question. That was like, right, how would I then? Okay, lovely, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Kennedy Street.
Cool. And Claire, thank you so much for the robustness of the question. And then saying, no, that's not what I'm asking. I want to know this. So wonderful. Great navigation there. Okay. Any other questions? Sankalpa.
Michael here, Sankalpa.
Yes, Michael.
Question is, what is the next stage of you do the paperwork, you come back to the cafe for a week. What is the next stage after that to connect with that person throughout their recovery? After the intervention with them, again, you might not have a phone number, you might not have an address. What is the next stage after they come in, do the quick assessment? What's the next stage after that? Have they got a program to go to? Have they stuff like that? You know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, we have meetings in house throughout the week, but we're also all of us are in 12-step programs ourselves. So, besides, like if someone needs treatment, we'll signpost them to CGL because they're a treatment provider. But generally, our aim is to get them within the recovery community. So if someone's new in, we will, one of us will take them to an AA meeting or an NA meeting or CA meeting. You can go to smart meetings if you wanted to. But our aim is to get people coming to meetings and we'll go with them to start with and introduce them to people and get them within that community. That's the aim. And just be able to signpost because we get people in for all sorts of addictions. You get gambling. At the moment, I had someone go mental because of an internet addiction the other day, and just being able to know that there is somewhere for all that as well. But mostly, yeah, we just try and get them within our community and get them coming back and take them to meetings and things like that.
And I think actually it's more than that as well as getting to meetings.
Just
It's coming into the hub.
Would you monitor their addiction through stabilising or the likes of what we do with drug diaries? Would you ask them?
So I can jump in here and I can say, so with some of the clients, right? Me, Moss, and Sarah, we're like trained. We're trainee recovery coaches, and so we would offer one-to-one support with individuals as well, where we would do the drug diaries or kind of like the weekly planners, kind of getting them to set goals, achievable goals, for the week. And then getting them to come to our groups during the week, connect through the week. And that's at the end of that, we would then do like a second outcomes form to see, how they're getting on, whether they've progressed.
I'd like to add as well. So when a client comes in, it's not really, I know that the long form, the really simple thing is a client walks in the door. Hello, I'm Moss. This is a recovery hub. Do you want a cup of tea? Let's sit down. Let's have a recovery conversation. So from the very get-go, we're using coaching skills to encourage that client to engage with what we're doing at the hub. So we start to explain about the hub. We say, look, we get our timetable out. We show them the timetable. We say, this is what we're about. If you sign up as a client, you can access our groups. We encourage them to come in every day, come back tomorrow, come back the day after, come to this group, come to that workshop. Once we start seeing a little bit of engagement, after a week or two, we then offer them formal recovery coaching. But every time they come in, every opportunity, every conversation we have is a recovery coaching conversation. We're encouraging that person to engage on a recovery pathway. And for us, we do really emphasize 12-step recovery. We're an abstinence-based charity. That's what we're about. I'm really sorry, guys. We're not about drug diaries. You fucking using? Stop using. Let's get you to meetings. Come here every day. You know what I mean? We're not harm minimisation. We're really not. There's a big organisation in Brighton and Hove that does that. They commission millions of pounds to do that.
Yeah.
We're not that.
No, we are and that's where we work closely with CGN as well, which is the commission service. We are a small, abstinent-based charity where the focus is on, we all know about addiction. Our focus is on the recovery and moving forward with the recovery and kind of hand-holding and supporting people throughout that in their abstinence. But if people are using and they're coming and using, they are encouraged. I run an intro to recovery talk groups every week, and everybody is welcome as they signed up for a client. We're just asking that they're not coming in drunk and high, because we've got to safeguard the rest of the community that's in the hub that day as well.
Michael, did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did answer my question. The reason why I asked that is just the little achievements when you're in addiction, the small things showing that you can reduce your use is a big step for an addict, and to show I can do this, because if I got away with coming into groups every day and nobody asked me about what I used today or have I reduced my use, I'd probably still think I could get away with it because I'm coming and I'm fucking selfish, But by looking at your whole weekly report, and if you can see the progress you're making, it's just a big step and a big confidence boost for yourself. That's just the way we do it. Not every service is the same.
Services do that.
Yeah, most services over here do it. It's just a confidence boost and an achievement for the person that's doing it, to show them they can do it. So that's the reason why I asked. But again, no shoe fits the same foot. So yeah, thanks, Moss.
Yeah.
Oh, Claire, sorry.
No, absolutely. And this is where they would probably be working with. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, no, that's good. So it's kind of seeing where the service is along the continuum, and you guys are very much in the abstinence 12-step ethos.
100%.
Yeah. Any recovery, all recovery pathways that are abstinent.
Yeah, multiple pathways to recovery, but we love the 12-step pathway.
Yeah. We're not affiliated. We make it very clear in the groups, we're not affiliated to any of the fellowships, and that is explained. But it just that a lot of us have found, we use 12-step programs and fellowships. But we encourage all recovery pathways.
Okay. Tommy, you had a question?
Yeah, my initial question was very similar to Claire's. Brilliant, well presented, by the way. A lot in it to take in, but it was well presented from all of you. The only thing, these ask, but I didn't actually hear anybody say that they see if they're on a clinic, if they didn't have a mobile phone or emails or contacts, do you have access to individuals' clinics? Because as you know, it's contemplating, they're in contemplation of recovery. So the chances is, after filling out all the forms and answering all the questions, very hard to get people back. As you say, we build a container and make a little agreement to come back. And if they have no phones or email addresses, is there another outreach to basically where they're dispensed on methadone, if it's methadone, or you know, a friend in recovery that could remind them to come back. Because you know yourself, I'm there on a Tuesday, a week out when you're active in addiction, you're going to forget that date. I know I always have. You know, I probably remember it 3 weeks later. Oh shit, I was meant to be in wherever. So these kind of, or I don't know, these branch out into the clinics, you know, sign waivers. Can we contact your clinic if we don't hear from you, or just asking?
So Tommy, excuse my stupidity. Can you just simplify the question for me?
Right, David, I've got it, man. I've got the question.
Oh, thank God somebody knows what's going on.
Yeah. So no, we did talk about that in the referral process, that they sign in a disclosure form. They're signing they're saying that we can work in partnership with the other with the clinics, like we call it CGL. That's what Change Grow Live. They're the clinic in the community. They're the ones who provide the methadone scripts and Subutex, Suboxone, all that stuff. They do that. They've signed a waiver saying that we have permission to contact and work in partnership with them in their treatment providing. I think, we don't. Sarah, we do go into the community. We go into the clinic once a week. We work with Sarah, goes there and presents to the people doing alcohol detox. Like, do you want to tell them a bit
So
about
I
that,
go
Sarah?
in once a month, and just again, they've signed up to CGL. So that, as I said, that is the commission service in Brighton and Hove, where there's also kind of Cascade Recovery in Brighton. We are another one. So I go in once a week to tell them about us, to come in, and they have my mobile number and support. And a lot of the time, because where we are based centrally in Brighton, they know about us anyway, so they're just encouraged to come in for a cuppa and and a chat. You know, they are signed up to CGL, and as Moss said, they're the ones that are doing the more structured. They've got their own groups. We are, as well as we are, that safe place to come and to be and to offer. We're always having recovery conversations and support.
The consent form, what you get them to sign at the beginning. So that is them giving them consent. Does that automatically mean that the local services then have to share information with you?
Yeah. So.
Or they're not obliged to? That's the question. It's all right getting somebody to sign a form saying I can work with other services, but do them services have to honour that?
They have to, if they're working with CGL, they have to give CGL their consent.
Separately.
So it's got to be separately. It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. So can we all just take a breath? I think my anxiety is rising here. Did we finish with the question in Sankalpa?
Yeah, Stephen wanted to go, but we'll wait.
Stephen wanted to go. Okay, so I'll come to you in a second. Stephen, Claire, was your question answered?
It was, and I'm asking specific questions, and I know quite assertive when it comes across quite short, but it's not because I am trying to learn this myself. This is why I'm so.
It's absolutely great, Claire.
You know, just to make that clear, I think it's doing amazing, and I'm just, you know, what do you know from your experience that I haven't learned yet, really?
So the anxiety that comes into the room is that everyone's very passionate about this. Yep, and it's good that we can create this robustness. Okay, great. Stephen?
Yeah, Stephen Sankalpa here. My question was, I heard of someone saying a recovery ambassador. I've never heard that term before, and I was just wondering what it was and what it consists of, and what our structure in the recovery community is.
Yeah, that's me. That means unqualified recovery coach. So someone said, yeah, we're ambassadors because we're just representing Kennedy Street. Also, we're waiting to get qualified to be coaches.
So Stephen, I think the pathway is a participant of the charity, or that then becomes a volunteer. Is this correct? And then a volunteer, once they're committed, they can move on to become an ambassador. receive some training and support to then move on and then to get a job and work for the charity. Is that the pathway, Dan?
Yeah.
I'll jump in here if that's all right. So yeah, so very like long-term vision, right? Long-term goal is that, you know, you've onboard a client and you know they come and they attend our hub, they use the external recovery capital in the community, and then they decide that, you know, once they've stabilized, they want to maybe become a volunteer. I'm the volunteer coordinator and trainer. So I go through volunteer training, so all about our policies and procedures, you know, I go through communication skills, you know, because a lot of people, you know, haven't been in customer facing roles. They don't know the listening skills, you know, kind of the basics of what we're learning on this course. And then one thing that we've done recently is like Daniel and Danny attended a peer mentoring course that I created and I ran. And through that, we discovered that Danny and Daniel, you know, they have beautiful gifts, and we've now come up to, you know, create this recovery ambassador kind of program where, you know, they're taking the next steps. You know, they've got all the qualities and the skills. They've come onto this training course. You know, they're volunteers, but they're definitely like a massive part of our, you know, of our charity, and you know, and so they're going to be like the you know, the starting point for our recovery ambassador scheme. And that's kind of where we're at. It's a really new thing. It's developed whilst we've been on this kind of training course. And we're really excited about it.
Stephen, did that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Is that Michael?
It did.
Mick. Who's got the hand up
Owen.
there?
No, sorry, it's
Owen.
Yeah, it's Owen and Sankal.
Yes, Owen and Sankal.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Kenny. Yeah, just to ask the last day, and fair play to what Tommy said, a really great presentation for you. It seems to me, how much of a relationship have you got with other services that might be dealing with harm reduction and people that aren't drug free, and have you just got a good relationship with them for them to refer the clients that maybe have become abstinent and then to move on to your program? So, because I know from over in Ireland, there can be a little bit of ego around different services where they don't engage with each other. Yeah. But I've noticed now when they do engage with each other, because we engage here in St. Calvin with different services, and it's so beneficial for people that are trying to harm reduction, but then, okay, so that they can be pointed in the direction of, say, Kennedy Street. Okay, that's an abstinence-based program. As much as they will welcome you in, now you're part, like what I think was people saying, we're going to honour you because you've done so well, and make a bit of a deal out of that, and point you in the direction of Kennedy Street that is abstinence-based. Because if there's not a relationship with other services, things can break down very quickly. So we just wanted to ask Kennedy Street what the relationship is like with other services, and is everybody singing off the same hymn sheet? Because there can be arrogance and a disconnection between services.
That fucking amazing question.
Just before that gets answered, Moss, I just really want to stress the importance of the question. Because what we're really trying to do is get people to work as a community, not as siloed services. So the question is great, and I'm sure. Over to you, Moss.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little case study of someone we worked with recently. I'm going to call this person Joe. That's not his name. So Joe had been on the sort of outskirts of our community for a while. He was in a relapse, had been for a couple of years, severe heroin and crack cocaine, habitual user, injecting, all that kind of stuff. And he would sort of come to our hub, we'd have a cup of tea, go, I've got to stop doing this, I've got to stop doing this. And we're like, come on, well, you know, and then he would just disappear and we wouldn't see him again for months and months. About 3 months ago, he presented to our service, came in, And he was just like, do you know what? I'm really done this time. I can't keep doing this. I'm ready to give up my flat, because that's the block for people in the city. Well, I don't want to go into politics, but he's like, I'm ready to give up my flat. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I'm like, all right, cool. We got him a cup of tea. We were having a conversation with him. One of the first things he did was he pulled up his fucking jeans. He had this huge abscess on his leg, right? Absolutely massive abscess. We're like, mate, you're going to hospital. You're going to hospital. It was like leaking and everything. So we got him in the car, took him to A&E. He came back the next day all bandaged. So there we worked with NHS, right? The next day he's come in, he's like, fuck, I'm plucking. I ain't got my script. I'm not taking any gear. I haven't taken any methadone. Right. We got on the phone. We got the phone out. Let's contact CGL. Do you remember who your worker is? Yeah. So we're there on the phone, me, him, and the CGL worker on loudspeaker. We're having a chat. Look, man, you got this client here. He needs his methadone. Like, he's clucking right in front. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah. Look, I can get a pickup for him at the local chemist where he normally picks up. Sweet. Got him a pickup that day. We then worked. He was then, and then the pickup started to happen again daily. He was then, he was coming. He couldn't walk. This guy couldn't walk. So I engaged with someone in the fellowships who's got a car. Took him to some meetings in the evenings. He was coming to us in the daytime. We supported him to go to a different organisation for a rehab assessment called Brighton Housing Trust. So we got Brighton Housing Trust, CGL, we got Kennedy Street, NHS. You know what I mean? We're all working together in partnership with this person, getting him into recovery, getting him sorted, like firefighting this guy. You know what I mean? Like, and then he started to stabilise. We then I had another three-way conversation with the CGL worker, with Joe, with me, and then we got him onto the buprenorphine injection, because he was like, he became sort of like, it was becoming like, he was starting to engage with them, was doing some of their stuff, coming to us every day, going to meetings in the evening. The 12-step treatment centre was really impressed with what we was doing, and he was in. All of a sudden, within a few weeks of like engaging with us, with the services, all of a sudden he's now in a residential detox. He's and he's thriving. So of course we work with local services, of course, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a really good example, because it's not just the free charities that have supported him, it's the NHS who have supported him as well. You know what I mean? And the chemist, you know what I mean? And it's like, and the fellowships, you know what I mean? Like that. I really hope that's answered your question, but that's just like one case study of a client that we've supported.
So Moss, you were talking about the role of case management there, and how your organisation was able to bring in create a multidisciplinary team for this complex intervention, for want of a better word. Yeah. Well done. Did that answer your question, David?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's something that it hasn't been sitting with me over here, so it was, how the lack of engagement with different services from one to the other. But we don't see it here. We see it in St. Calvin, where we engage, and how important it is.
Yeah,
but no, that was a great example of what I was looking for.
There's still a lot of stigma for people that come into this world as professionals with lived experience. Yeah, there's still a lot of tension.
David, just really quickly, St. Calvin here, we just have to cut this a little bit short today.
No problem.
A visit from the Lord Mayor of Dublin. He's actually on site, so we're just gonna.
Listen, before you go, guys, before you go to St. Culper, would you refer a family member of yours to Kennedy Street?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They'll be over Monday.
There's nothing for any.
Everybody, well done.
All right, are you
Thank you, anyone.
Are you good to pass them?
Yeah, of course.
Definitely pass it.
It's a gift from me.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're on the voice now, it's only sure.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, guys. See you.
Yeah.
Crisis, chaos, and conflict. I love it. Here comes the mayor. I'm just removing them. Oh, I can straight away feel the energy change when you've got a whole room full of people. It's
Breathe.
it's hard to navigate, but yeah. All right, so I've still got a couple more questions if that's okay. Yep. Or we can take a break. Well, let me go quickly. So, Danny, the question would have been to you is like, how do you support the overwhelm? Somebody comes in and there's all this information and like, people are feeling overwhelmed. And then
Yeah.
and then yeah, I just want you to sit with it for a second. Yeah. And then the self-referral, I think Claire's question touched on that with you've got Simplify, Slack, Salesforce, a timetable, self-guarding, all that sort of stuff. And then that led to the question, do you have your own devices, your own personal devices, or are you given company devices? Yep, and how do you separate the data from those two? I know in certainly in the African context, like people are using their personal devices, yeah, and often these sort of systems can get enmeshed. Do you have your own devices? Do you have like work phones?
Yeah, so actually that was one of the things that I realized a boundary of mine was that I wasn't able to stick to boundaries because I was using my personal phone. And so actually what the charity had done is given me me and Sarah a work phone. And we've all got our own separate laptops now as well that we have at work for work related
Okay,
stuff.
great. All right. So you're supported with the resources that can support the policies, procedures, and processes that institutions want. But for the person on the street who's coming in, he doesn't really give a fuck. It's just like, geez, I've got a sore on my leg. I need to see a doctor. I'm clucking. I'm like, I'm not interested in your fucking forms. Can you help me out? And it looks like you're able to handle that dance in your organization well.
Yeah, I thought it was really good how you have got all these systems, but you won't hesitate to go, hang on, let's just give someone a call here, you know what I mean, which I find to be really
that's the most important thing.
just let's speak to someone. Yeah.
I think
it's the most important thing. We keep talking about being very British and having that cup of tea. It's getting people in, just sitting them down. I know Danny, pass over to Danny in a minute about the overwhelmingness. We're a very small place, it's so I'll let Danny talk about that, but I think I'll pass over to you, Danny. But I think the most important thing, I think it's what it always comes across so well is that everybody that just comes in, they are seen and they are heard and not judged. It's irrelevant of all the bits that we need to do behind the scenes for all our systems. The most important thing is that person coming in and seeing them as for who they are. Danny.
Yeah, I think in terms of that sort of overwhelming, the overwhelm that comes with stepping over the threshold into some sort of recovery situation, I think that is something that we're really aware of, that can be so difficult walking into CGL, which looks like a doctor's surgery, or walking into an AA meeting in a dusty old church hall or something. And so, we have branded ourselves as a recovery cafe. We're painted, half of the room is painted bright yellow. We look like a cafe, and it's very relaxed and informal initially. And me as a volunteer and the volunteers, we all we're the real friendly face of recovery. And so that when you first come in, you just get greeted with a warm smile, with relaxed faces. And before we engage people in anything at all, whether it's one of our groups or one of the fellowships, we we just we push our recovery cafe, and that's 2 till 5 every day, where someone can just come in, sit down in a safe place with other people who are on similar journeys, and just chat and just start to feel relaxed in the recovery community.
Why don't you give Claire a quick tour with your new Mac camera?
Good going on, Daniel.
All right, one last question. Yeah. And then we'll take them.
Like.
And the questions to Sam is, you had some specific questions. They were yes, no type questions.
Oh, yes.
What's the purpose of those questions and who's it for? So just go through the questions again.
That the outcomes.
No, the outcomes are the strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. You don't mean those?
Yeah, I mean that whole process. So just run it through me again quickly.
Yeah, so we ask questions like, I'm able to avoid engaging in addictive behaviors.
Okay.
Strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. My financial situation is affected by my addiction. I am at risk of becoming homeless. I am satisfied with my current emotional and mental well-being. I am happy with my self-esteem and how I feel about myself.
So the answer to these questions, yeah. Who's it for? What's the purpose of the questions?
So I think it's there's multi-purpose really. It's to, first of all, for the client to see, where they're at, that maybe it's the first time they've really had to think about answering that, and also for us, right? Where's their starting point? Whereabouts are they on this recovery journey, and if we were to ask those questions again in a few months' time, have they improved? Is what we're doing support, are they moving toward recovery, a culture of recovery, a culture of resilience, or are they moving back into a culture of addiction?
So it's to help the client get a baseline for where they're at.
Yeah, it's not going to gauge their
It
journey.
is quite common. I recognise that from harm reduction.
Okay.
I recognise that from that. So you would start, and initially for me, like when you said those questions are there, so when they initially come in, it's thought provoking. Like you say, it might be the first time they've even considered that this is an impact on them. And then as you move further down, you can see how they have progressed just using that same form, the same continuum, like from a place of no, I'm not in control. No, I have no power over this too. Yes, I can remove myself. I can avoid this. I can do that. I'm feeling empowered, So yeah,
absolutely.
And I recognise it from harm reduction, which is really interesting considering your 12 step.
Yeah, well, but it also, I wouldn't say we are 12 step,
No.
we are, all different. We signpost to all recovery pathways. It's about the client's autonomy, right? What does the client want to try? What haven't they tried before? Who do we know in the community, and what pathways do we know that we can signpost them to, right? And put them in the driver's seat. What do they want to try? I think these outcomes forms really do, especially with like the homeless, I'm at risk of becoming homeless. If they say strongly agree, it's like, right, okay, is that the crocodile closest to the boat at the moment? Do we need to work alongside charities and support
nice
services?
metaphor. Crocodile closest to the boat.
I can't take credit for that one. That's Claire's one. That one. But is this something that we have to work in conjunction with the drugs and alcohol? So yeah, I think it's kind of, it really is to give us a real understanding of all areas of their life, and what we can do to support them.
So when asking the questions, I think they're brilliant. They're thought-provoking for the client. It gives you guys a baseline, and you can build research and progress from that. The only concern is the impact that it might have on the client at the time. So just, if you're okay to kind of throw the questions out at the time and say, this isn't relevant at the moment, we've got to get that wound dressed, we've got to get this sort of stuff. then by all means. And then
Yeah.
just quickly, what were those yes/no questions you asked before those ones?
So the outcomes is a separate form. So we've got an assessment form, right?
Yes.
Which, the final section is commitments and consent.
Okay. There we go.
So is achieving long-term abstinence the most important goal?
Okay. What's the motive behind that question?
Pardon, sorry, what was that?
What's the motive? Yeah, all the AI people haven't got enough energy to stick with us. What's the motive behind that question?
If anything, it's thought provoking to the client when they're signing up, because they're kind of like, you know, the initial assessment. This isn't done on day one a lot of the time. The initial assessment is done after they've done a referral. They come in, we're having those recovery conversations, and you know, they might not have actually thought about abstinence. So it's thought provoking. Oh, abstinence. Oh, what is that? Oh, okay. So you know what I mean? Then we can have, and then that question can provoke a conversation about sharing disclosure about myself. Oh, when I work for abstinence-based program, because I find when I drink, I lose control when I start doing drugs again, which is my experience. So I work an abstinence-based program. So it's like, it's that thought-provoking question where it can turn into, like, you know, the assessment form itself. We're looking at the processes of Danny and Daniel doing it, because it's part of the recovery coaching process to start asking those questions and set goals and have those conversations, you know. So it's like almost thought provoking.
Yeah, and I think yeah, thanks. I think also like it's to gauge also like their ambivalence. You know, where are they on the? You know, are they in pre-contemplation stage? You know, are they ready to put in some action? You know, what stage are they at? Whether they answer yes or no, it's irrelevant really. It's for us to say, okay, like where about, you know, are they 100%, you know, 2 feet in, ready to give everything they've got, or do we need to support them somewhere?
So the question's more about it's helpful for you guys as an organization.
As well, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask, is that because you are advocates for the 12-step program? Because to me, that sounds like, as somebody who needed to address a substance problem, but, and this is speaking from my own experience, never had a problem with alcohol. I can go to family functions, I can have a couple of drinks. So that question is quite like, if you're not only addressing a problem that's causing you conflict and chaos, then this isn't the place for you. That's kind of implied, unless you're working towards complete abstinence, that this program isn't for you. Is that what would you say that you're trying to establish there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we are an abstinence-based charity. You know, we all got a lived experience. I've tried controlled drinking; it don't work for me. Why would I sit there saying?
Yeah, I'm
you know
saying,
what I mean?
you know,
Right.
so you're saying to people are engaged with you, we are looking for you to be completely abstinent at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
that's
long
what,
term
that's
goal.
how that was found. Yeah, yeah. This is that's what we're all about.
Yeah, time to be able to have a drink at a family function, but that's like, I mean, I'm putting it in very basic terms here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I say some. Hi, can I say something?
That's what I'm saying.
Where we are, most of them come in thinking they just want to kind of regulate their addictive behavior, but eventually when they spend some more time in with us, they come and realize that they have to actually stop, because sometimes alcohol does lead on to the other kind of substance and stuff like that. But like, it takes them a little bit of time to decide whether they can just have a drink, because some of them come in, no, it's not drink, I can do it dry. And then, like, if to go to the pub, I said, well, you're drinking at the pub, so will you get a packet then? And they're going, yeah, we will. But then after a time, they will kind of acknowledge that they want to kind of go absent.
May I ask, are you also a 12-step program?
I do smart recovery, and I do it myself, 12-step recovery, but I facilitate.
I'm not being funny, but you can tell when you're talking.
Yeah, no, I do smart recovery as well. That's my main thing in the place that I go to, is all drugs and stuff like that.
So what I just want to bring awareness to is how asking the question can activate stuff.
I know, Brad.
That's all. That's all I want.
To ask a question. Yeah.
So
Like
when
some people-
when you're sitting there and you're onboarding somebody, just be aware of how that might be activating someone. I'm a white straight male from South Africa. Yeah. When I'm in front of a person of color, I need to be aware of how just my presence might impact that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all we're looking for, because we want to engage people and have them join the process.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking these questions, because going in, that can seem like, there's one way. It's like you have to work, where they're just coming through the door and they're just like, I just want one day, I just want my first day under my belt, and you've got them we're abstinence-based thingy, they're like, whoa, I can't even imagine like what that would look like. I dare say some people would walk out the door thinking, look, I'm not ready.
Yeah, the thing is,
know
Chloe,
what I mean?
when people come in, we don't. It's not like bang, there it is. It's from the abstinence point of view, we want people to be able to come in initially, to be able to come in sober to speak to us. So, and it's a gradual process. It takes it takes a long time, and but we do have a range of people. We have people who are still using methadone. We have people who keep relapsing and things like that. No one's ever turned away because of that. But
So that's not abstinence then, a prescription, is it?
no, but the aim is to get them there. The aim is to.
Well, you're still relying on a substance to keep you functioning, so I would argue that's not abstinence.
No, what I'm saying is, but get someone abstinent. They're not going to be abstinent on day one, but we'll work with people. But we're just the aim of the outcome is that someone will be absent after spending some time with us. That's. But we're not gonna. No one's gonna get turned away because they're not. If they're absent when they walked in, they wouldn't need us.
Do you worry that it is off-putting?
Okay, so
or are you just like, this isn't for us?
Let's just pause it for there a second, Claire, if that's all right. We're just here to kind of do an assessment if you kind of guys have got some processes in place and things like that. Claire, would you refer a family member to Kennedy Street?
Yes, if I thought it was appropriate, yes.
Yeah.
If I believed abstinence was what was required, I absolutely would, because they've got it down there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So would you pass them?
Yes. I ask these questions because I'm interested and I'm wondering how they find it when people are engaging. I'm not criticizing, I'm interested. Like, what is your experience when you're talking to people and you're saying this to them? What kind of response are you getting? Do you know what I mean? I'm not like picking fault. I'm just the routine was different, so I'm asking, how do you find it when you're engaging people with this stuff? Do you know what I mean? And it's not easy, because my recovery I did myself, the initial periods of not using, and then obviously then you get well afterwards, you know what I mean? Then you do the real work, you know what I'm saying? So this is so I'm sat here, and what you do is brilliant. And then also I can put myself in the position back there of going back in. And this is why I'm asking these questions. That's all. I'm just interested. It's not a criticism. I'm just interested.
Yeah.
And I want to really build on that, Claire. Your questions are fantastic, and it really highlights the impact that these can have when onboarding people. So, for example, I've joined a service about a year ago, and I had to go through the process of being asked these questions. And a lot of them were quite activating around, like, I just wanted fucking some help. Yeah. And then going from one service to another service and being asked the same questions again, because of their systems there, and they were being recorded on different platforms, and then that became fatiguing. And then going to another service and then ask, repeat it, and it does have an impact. So we just want to be aware of how our processes might be impacting people negatively. So Moss, your case study that you brought through was very helpful. And like, fuck, get that. Let's get on the phone. Listen, can you see him? He's clucking. Fuck, he's got, we need to get him down to A&E to have a wound dressed. That's what I'm looking for.
I think what's great as well, because we are a small charity, it's not as though we've got tens of people coming in every day. We might have one or two. So we get to know the people. It's very centered towards that individual. So it's going to be different. Someone that I might meet on Friday is going to be different from Joe that Moss was talking about, because as we're small, we can, we've got, we can create that environment of getting to know the client well. And if they keep coming back, they get to know us. And a lot of it is by then just coming and seeing and just being around people in recovery. I had no clue at all before I went into rehab of what on earth it might look like, because I didn't want it or had no idea. But then if I had the opportunity to come in somewhere like Kennedy Street, you're just talking, you're seeing the people, the human side of it all. So it's treating people. It's not just about a name on a form. It's not just about yes, no, left, right. So it's about that person. And I think that's what I think always comes across when you walk into the hub. It's knowing that individual, and where they're at.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I like that.
Time out. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Sam, can you hold it for 5 minutes so we can get a coffee?
I think so.
I'm about to pee myself as well.
Cool.
Yeah. So 5 minutes. Well done, guys.
I'm not back. I'm not back, everyone. I have to go.
Would you like to check out, Claire?
Yeah, I'm checking out. Very grateful that Kennedy Street have took all that time to answer me questions, and I'd just like to say thank you for being patient, because it's not easy. The only person in the room from harm reduction asking the questions and looking like I'm being confrontational when I'm not. I'm just looking for the other perspective, you know what I mean? So thank you very much. I'm checking out. Very grateful.
I appreciate that, Claire, and I appreciate your questions, most definitely.
Claire, have you got my number?
Have I got your number?
Yeah.
I don't know. Could you send me it?
Give me a call a bit later, all right? Or I'll call you a bit later. Okay?
Okay. I've got clients until after 4 now, just to let you know.
No problem. I'll phone you at 5.
Okie dokie. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for putting up with me.
5 minutes. You're amazing, Claire. It's fine. Okay.
I'm still here, Moss. Hello.
Oh, hello, Daniel.
How you doing?
That was exciting, huh?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to ask you, do you know, so we've got to do 40 hours of recovery coaching because I think the way it seems at the moment is, like it would just be for if I'm sat down specifically with a client, uh, as a recovery coach in that connection, whereas it seems like what we're talking about here is what we're doing already, actually, them conversations and stuff. So would that be able to class towards it?
Yeah,
Yes,
with
and
Daniel.
Yeah,
and Daniel, what it is like the training and the certification has been put together for people that are on a single path journey.
yeah,
Your organization is integrating the training.
yeah,
So instead of making everyone go and learn our systems of doing it, we
yeah,
would much rather that we learn that your systems know how to do it, because it's not going to add any kind of benefit to coaching, you learning two separate systems. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah. No, I'm just wondering how to get the qualification at the end of it.
Yeah. So we want to make it easy for people to qualify, but we want there to be robustness in the qualification, which is focusing on the ability to coach and behave professionally and ethically.
Yeah,
So what came up now is you guys you've all got 12-step experience, yep,
Yeah.
yep, and you're all passionate 12-steppers. But the charity that you work for, yep, is a charity. Yep. So you're not a 12-step organization, even
no,
though a lot of you have 12-step experience.
yeah,
And however, saying that, Claire has had a bad experience from that environment.
mhm,
And I would say that her trauma was activated by your 12-step personal experience,
yeah,
which was kind of, I don't want to say leaking out, but
I think that's fair.
do you know, like it's the yeah, it's because I mean that stuff gets activated, and then we're kind of having an argument around different pathways and all that sort of stuff, you know.
mm,
I mean, there was also a statement around, yep, I don't know what you guys are like down there with your middle class stuff and having all the resources. Do you remember that statement?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
But we
Yeah.
live in Brighton and Hove, where there's such a diverse mix of us as well. So I think it's understanding what our city is like.
Yeah, well, imagine what it's like for someone from Africa. Yep. And then they just see people in England that have got, all the resources that we have there. They're like,
Mm.
so it's also getting an idea of the complexities of the system around it.
mhm.
All right, so let's just take a pause. Let's just check in. Are we good for it still to be recorded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just on another note altogether, Moss,
Yeah.
I thought you were suited and booted up today. Looks like you're wearing a suit jacket. I thought, oh, Moss is all there ready for the presentation. But is that your dressing gown, not a
Yeah.
jacket?
It is my dressing gown.
Smoking jacket.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
looks like
smoke
you're kind
anymore.
of all suited
Oh,
and
yeah,
booted up for this morning.
So
And then stood up.
Moss, start the check-in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling a bit distracted. I've got roadworks happening outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully not. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I think that presentation went really well. And I shall tag Daniel.
I feel all right. I've got a funeral to go to after this, which I'm not sure what time that is. Yeah, what time is that? I don't know. Yeah, feel okay. Hand over to Olivia.
Hello. Yes, that was really good. Thank you. I thought I'd leave it up to Claire to ask the questions this week because I asked enough last week. But yeah, it's all really good. All good. But yeah, with the smart recovery, like people in there, they because they don't like the God stuff and all that in AA, they come there, and then there is certain people that I think would go to like be good at going to AA, but it's just kind of getting them over that barrier. So I'm allowed to encourage AA to them and NA and CA. I'm allowed to do that as smart recovery, but some of them are just so against the AA. But I kind of bring a little bit of the AA because there is a spiritual side in smart recovery. So I kind of bring it in as well, using the tools and stuff. So yeah. Thank you. I nominate Sarah.
Thank you, Olivia. Yes, checking in again still. It's been quite a week of different events. So just, yeah, grateful to be present and here. I will tag Sam.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, checking in, feeling reflective, feeling defensive, feeling proud. Yeah, a little bit anxious. But yeah, I'll tag Danny.
Yeah, checking in. Glad that's over with. Yeah, there was it was. I think we did trigger a few people, and I didn't really expect it. I suppose, I guess we're sort of just quite used to doing things the way we do things here. And also, there's another organization called Cascade, which deals much more with harm reduction, sort of smart recovery type stuff. So we're sort of like the alternative to that here. So, but yeah, so I think some things came up that I wasn't completely expecting, but it was good to hear them. So back to David.
Great. So I check in. My anxiety's dropped a little bit. I thought the first hour and a quarter was very robust. Robust would be a good word that I would use. And I'm proud of the robustness, even though when those tensions come into the room, it's like, oh fuck, how are we going to navigate this now? And yeah, I enjoyed Sankalpa's input, and I loved We input as well. I thought Claire was very courageous with those questions. I thought they were very good, and yeah. And so I have a bit of anxiety that I want to follow up with her just to praise and to kind of really commend her for those questions. Yeah. Yeah, Sam and Danny, I both liked your response now there. I loved Sam can kind of say, yeah, I'm feeling a bit defensive now. And it's like, great. Okay. And yeah. So Sam, you had some questions that or you were going to say something before we took a break.
I can't remember. What were we talking about?
Oh, okay. All right. So let's just come down. I think you guys have done an excellent job. What I love about it is the way that you've prepared for this, and you had I'm going to say a presentation that was very inclusive of all your different team members. Yeah. So what that tells me is you've got a united team there. Yeah, working together in a common direction. I really like that. I personally also like the way that you spoke about the IT systems and the two-factor authentication and all that stuff. It's very difficult to take a lived experienced organization and to get people to understand the importance of that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then people that understand the importance of that sort of stuff, they don't understand the importance of just fucking throwing it all out of the window if you need be. And Moss, in spite of your smoking jacket, I thought you did really well in representing that side as well. So that fills me with pride, yeah, and hope, and yeah, I feel quite tearful in a blessed way. It's like, fuck, there's some courageous compassion out there for people, and that's an honor to witness. Yeah.
I wanted to thank you as well, David, because by getting us to look at this onboarding process, it's now become one of our like procedure documents. So it's becoming part of our policies and procedures, the onboarding process. And Sam's also going to implement it into the training, like some little bits in there to the new volunteers as well. So it's been really useful as a team because we all sat down. Over the last couple of weeks, we've all got together at different periods. But on Tuesday, we all sat down in the morning, all five of us, and we've fully prepared this. You know what I mean? So it's actually been really good for us to come together as a team and do it as well. So yeah, it's been really good.
And that's the team development component of it. So this is good too, because each organization, each town, each area, all has a very different culture and way of doing things. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So where should we? Olivia, what brings you back? What have you noticed in this is your second class, huh?
Yeah, this is my second class. At the moment, I'm just trying to kind of gain as much knowledge about recovery as I can, and kind of putting my kind of guilt that I have over my children, kind of putting it in a different area, kind of, and navigating it in a different area. That's always going to be there. So so recovery is just like my main thing at the moment, and engaging in as much as I can to kind of go forward with training and stuff to help other people, whether it's alcohol or drugs, or if they don't like AA and they like smart recovery, whatever it is. As long as I'm helping one person, I think that's a good thing around like recovery anyways, because some people in AA may say, oh, like smart recovery is not a good thing, but I'm like, I'm helping another person that's suffering with alcohol, so that is in one of the guidelines in the promises. So yeah, so I am helping. So yeah, I go to Pier Road. It's in Bexley. If you heard of Bexley, you probably know Bexley more than Erith. And I do smart recovery there. I used to be a client there, and I came out, went into rehab, came out, and then they discharged me from there and asked me to come back and volunteer. So I've been doing that for the last 2 years with them. We're talking about setting up the ketamine classes because it's just rife at the moment. So I'm trying to learn as much about that as much as I can. But like going online, trying to find kind of like you can go on YouTube and stuff like that and find out the information, but there's no kind of certificates or any kind of courses out there to do with ketamine, which is quite strange because it's becoming quite a pandemic at the moment. I spoke to a lady yesterday from Pier Road, and she said, let's try and do meetings, a KA meeting. And I said, we probably need to start it here because we need to know how many people are going to attend. You can't just kind of book a hall and like nobody turns up because you've got to pay for it and stuff. So I think we're going to try and set it up in the Prepare project and see how many clients we get, and then and because I do the smart recovery, they're older group, whereas the ketamine like a younger group, so you can't really mix the two of them because I don't think to be able to speak too much because they're younger.
Olivia, if I can just pause you for a second, I'll come to you then, Sam. Are you here for yourself? Are you here representing an organization? How did you hear about us, and what is it that you're expecting from here?
I'd like to get a certificate. I've got the smart recovery certificate. I'm here for myself at the moment, but when I go back next Tuesday to to Pear Road, and I will speak to them about this is what I'm doing. I might actually ring them when I cut off this call and said I've gone on this, and see what they say, and then see what they'd like me to kind of tell you all about what we did down at Pear Road.
Okay, so you might join as a participant to learn about peer recovery and becoming a certified professional recovery coach, and you'd like to join here on a Thursday and work with us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just as much knowledge as I can get.
Yeah, no, okay. So I really want to acknowledge your enthusiasm. Let's see where you are next week. Yep. And maybe you'll be representing yourself, or you'll be showing up as a representative, as a volunteer from, what are they called?
Pear Road, PIER.
Pear Road.
Pear
Okay.
Road Project, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bexley.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, wonderful.
Can I just I just want to just let Olivia know, even though we are
So,
very.
so Moss, before you jump in, Sam had his hand up. I think.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Yeah. So I was just can I give you a suggestion, Olivia?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know if you've got contact with Change Grow Live where you are, or if you're able to find a contact, CGL. I attended one of their courses online this year. It was called Ketamine and Beyond.
Okay.
And it was a 2-hour online course about harm reduction, the effects of ketamine, and it might be something useful.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. Could you write that down in the chat, and then I can just write down. I've lost my pen. The dog has probably got it.
Yeah, I'll send it to
chewing
you.
on it.
The dog has got the homework.
The dog.
Whatever.
The dog is there. Look
That
at
old chestnut.
Yeah. Okay, Moss, over to you, mate.
Yeah, I just wanted to let Olivia know. I mean, it would have been nice to say to the other guys actually a little case study I did, because we're offering 8 weeks. Once someone started to engage, we offer them 8 weeks of recovery coaching spread over 3 months. Like, that's our formal recovery coaching process.
Okay.
It's not offered to everyone. It's very limited because we are very short. We that's why we're bringing Danny and Daniel on board so they can pick that up as well. But in one of the recovery coaching sessions, I was, trying to get this guy to engage in a recovery process, and he's like, I suggest to go to meetings, let's go to SMART, and he did. And what happened was he was going to meetings, CA meetings. He was like, I don't really like it. It's not for me, but I quite like this SMART group I went to. So then I used the coaching sort of tools. Go, okay, so what did you like about it? Tell me a bit more. I mean, I know about it anyway, but I was kind of like getting to go, and I was like, well, why don't you try going to some more? And we're using sort of setting goals. So he was like, oh, I find it really hard to, because at the moment there's only 2 SMART meetings in the whole of Brighton and Hove, and they're both in the daytime. They're both in CGL. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's go to online meetings. And we set goals of like, 'cause he commutes to London for work. I was like, you can just join a meeting and just put headphones on. You know what I mean? And like, so, and then it was like, right, have you got the book yet? Oh, no, I haven't got the book. Well, get the SMART book. We got one in our books, in our recovery books. Set the goal, getting in the book. He's now gone away after the 8 weeks. He's pretty engaged in the process. He's using the tools of SMART, you know what I mean? Like, and all that stuff. And I was getting him to teach me. I was like, oh, tell me about the tools you learnt this week. Oh, what tools you're using now? And it was kind of like, I was learning a bit more about it myself. And he was like, but he's now gone away with, I planted the seed of, look, it'd be really good in Brighton and Hove if we had a SMART group at the weekends or in the evening. Be really, really good. And I told him to do the SMART facilitator training. You do it online on the SMART website. It's completely free. And I was like, look, once you've done that, come see us. We can help support you in setting up a SMART group.
I think you need to be referred to do the SMART. So you'd have to, as your organisation, refer him to do the SMART recovery facilitator.
Really?
I think so. Like,
it wasn't like that before.
Maybe I'm wrong then. Like, I was referred to do it, and then they sent me an email. But maybe you can go online and just do it yourself. I haven't gone down that road myself.
Yeah, I think you can.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, good. But yeah, this ketamine stuff is just like mind blowing, isn't it? It's just everywhere. It's such a
15 years.
Pardon?
I've been doing it for 15 years, so.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when I started doing the smart recovery, and this was like ketamine was spoken a lot, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. So I went home and Googled it, and then I realized it's just no awareness about it as much as, like, even though my partner's a bit older than me, and he said, like, that's been going on for years, and I was like, has it? I've never heard of it before, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. It'd be nice to set up a KA, but I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Are you allowed to do things like that?
Don't know if you're allowed to do it.
You want to start? Can I? You want to
Yeah.
start KA? What, Ketamine Anonymous?
Yeah, there's one in Bromley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is one in Bromley. Yeah,
Well, reach out to them.
yeah,
That's what I would do. Reach
yeah.
out to them.
Just
But
setting
you
it
know,
all up,
is it
isn't it?
necessary? I don't think it's necessary.
No, maybe.
So
Oh,
just
we get a lot of it
Go
actually.
on.
Yeah, no, there is a massive problem with it, especially in Brighton. We get a lot of people who just ketamine.
Yeah,
I know so many people who've lost their bladders. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, they've got bladders the size of a Terry chocolate orange now.
Mm.
Little plastic.
Yeah, I'm told they don't know how it will affect your brain. They haven't gone that far into research to see will it cause neurological kind of symptoms in later life. There's no research on it.
The depression from trying to stop it is horrific. Like it's just getting it's really bad.
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, Olivia. So if you want to do this, you want to get certified. There's a cost as well. So that'll be
Yeah.
£350.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
I've got to do
we'll see you next week.
So we do 40 sessions like this.
20
20
sessions, yeah.
Yeah.
The first 10 sessions, if you complete that, you'll be a peer recovery specialist. If you do the full 20 hours, 20 classes, that you'll become a certified professional recovery coach if you meet the other requirements.
Okay.
Now, Kennedy Street have met all those requirements because they're all working within a charity.
Yeah, Peer Roads in charity as well.
Yeah.
It's a charity.
So we'll work out where you are.
Okay then, thank you.
And one last question: how did you find us? Because it was
I
great.
went online. I went online looking for a coaching kind of thing, and it just popped up. And then I kind of looked into it, and I just thought, oh, I'll just press that button and see what happens.
Well done on your bravery. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So is everyone else all right if people start to join while you're further down the road? Kennedy Street, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, me, Sam, and Sarah probably haven't got that many classrooms left, have we? Are we doing the whole 20? Or are we doing the whole 10? Or because we're
well, hopefully you've got 8 more classes, and then you'll all become certified recovery coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to, but that's what I agreed with.
8
Claire.
more classes, yeah.
And is it Mark?
Yeah, Mark's our line manager. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the offer was.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. And have you gone through the online content? So once
we've
you've all completed the online content, you should get a certificate at the end of it. Just print that out and send that to me.
Yeah, all 5 of us have done that.
Okay. All right. Because that certificate then goes to the Netherlands, and I can then say, yep, they were there, they did it, I saw them, we know who they are. And that's also why we record things as well. So there's a record as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was an exciting couple of hours. How are you feeling, Sarah?
How am I feeling? It's really, as I said, what I've enjoyed was the process of getting to do this, as well as Moss said, of all of us getting together. Because it is very much us working together. It's not Kennedy Street isn't a Claire thing or an I thing. It's very much a team thing, and driven by the volunteers and everyone that is in there. So that was really good process. Again, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And I think we're all very different organizations, and that is what really came across mostly today. And what we are about is different, and we're not commissioned everything, so it's kind of having a good understanding of what each of us are doing. And that kind of came across. So perhaps some of the questions, like, yeah, that was really interesting. So it's always really good. And I think what I loved as well, at the end of the day, we just want to get fucking people into recovery. This killed me almost, just personally. So the passion is there for just wanting people to be in recovery. And that's what I think Kennedy Street's about, is about recovery and staying in recovery and living well in recovery and starting to thrive in recovery. Yeah, and as I said, I am feeling now we're about to head off shortly, some of us, to a memorial service for the client and friend of ours who passed away sadly. So it's kind of now just, again, it's just that gratitude for that I'm able to be there and to be present, and for Tristan's family. So yeah, moving on to the next part of the day, feeling reflective. Yeah, I'll hand over to Sam.
Good choice.
Thanks, Sarah. I am feeling, reflective. I feel like we've achieved something today. It's just good to take a step back, really, and kind of, just have a look at a bird's eye view of, what we do in our charity, and have we got have we got everything right? I think we have, but there's still room to grow, and I really liked, the passion that came from the container, and it's I think it's good, isn't it? It's good to just, like, take a step back and just think, like, where are we at? Where can we improve? The most important thing is the clients, right? And meeting the clients where they're at, and I think we do that well. We do that really well. I mean, I reflect back to when I first came in. I've gone through the process. I was a client, in active addiction. I was in psychosis. I was, I had, like, tech phobia. I had psychosis about giving my number out, or my address. So I think I put down, like, a fake address, like Timbuktu Road or something. And I kept on coming, and then I progressed on to become a volunteer, and now I work here. It absolutely saved my life. So I know it works. I'll stop rambling, Danny.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, that's interesting that Sam said that, because I was just sitting there feeling quite reflective as well. I mean, becoming, being invited on this course and becoming more part of the team, it's a lot of gratitude, and I'm learning so much. And I was just thinking when I first came in here, I practically couldn't even tie my own shoelaces, and to have started out, really needing the support here, and then becoming a volunteer and being able to give a bit back, which helped me just as much as it helped other people. And yeah, here I am. So it's it's amazing to look back at that progress. 15 months ago I was a vagabond, and now I'm training to be a recovery coach. So I'm really grateful. I'll hand over to Moss.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite reflectful and quite grateful as well. And I just think, like, just for David and Olivia, really, like, we stand, like, there's the big drug treatment service provider in this city is so anti 12 steps. And it's like there's two residential rehabs. One of them is pro 12 steps, and one of the other rehabs is not pro 12 steps. So actually having a frontline service that is pro 12 steps as well. We're now getting guys from that rehab coming all the time for the drop-in and having cups of tea. We're now getting guys finishing that rehab who have been told, look, you've done some step work, you've got a sponsor, keep doing that stuff. And then they're coming to us and volunteering now. Like, with the two of our newest volunteers, that they're signed up as, they're like 9 months, 12 months sober, and they're now signed up to us be a volunteer. And what do you do here, Moss? And like, mate, we just tell people to go to meetings and hang out here all day. Like, come to us, hang out all day, go to a meeting in the evening, and if we can't stay clean doing that, let's get you in rehab. It's really, you know what I mean? And it's like, so the new guys are coming on board going, oh, you know what I mean? And it's, you know, it's great. We're such a great position, such a unique thing. It's like, it's, you know, yeah. And I don't know. I'm so grateful to be part of this team. I'm looking forward to tomorrow as well, when we're celebrating 3 years of being a charity. 3 years, like me, Sam, and Sarah. We've been there. I know Sarah was there from the day you opened. You know what I mean? Me and
Yeah,
Sam
and yep, 2 years previously as well. It's been amazing to have. I remember the day we had the keys and went into the pub for the first time. We were like, shit, you know, it's amazing what we got now.
Yeah.
I'll be making the birthday cake tonight.
Yeah, good, really good. I'm going to hand over to Daniel.
Well, I'm quite shocked and perplexed that no one asked me how we get our free Marks and Spencer's cakes. I was all ready to go there.
I was worried what you're going to say then, Daniel.
We'll keep that for next week.
We always worry, Sarah.
No, Daniel, tell us now. Tell us now.
What about the neighbourly thing? No, I'll do it next week because we've got a few more to get to. So I'll hand over to Olivia. And I'm checking out good. Oh, and I've got an 18-month keyring.
Well done.
Oh, wow, well done. Yeah, I'm just grateful and thank you for all letting me kind of come in and kind of interrupt your sessions and stuff like that. Thank you for just allowing me to do it. I feel grateful. Thank you.
Cool.
David?
Thanks, Olivia. So yeah, welcome, Olivia. I'm looking forward to. I was thinking about you during the week, thinking, oh fuck, I wonder if she's going to come back, because you were so enthusiastic last week. You jumped on one of our leadership meetings, and I had said, no, Olivia, not this one. And then I thought, oh my god, I hope I haven't scared her off. So wonderful for being here. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, and I enjoyed today's class. And if I think where this container was 12 weeks ago when it first started, we had WhatsApp groups and it was chaotic here and the people didn't know where we were going. It's really nice to see how things have settled and where we're going. So yeah, I've enjoyed today. Thank you all for your time. Please tell Claire that you've been assessed and meet the requirements. And yeah, I would definitely send a family member to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. So lots of love. I'll see you all next week. Yeah. Are we good to check out? Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
David. See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks, David.
All right. Bye.